Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Caitlin. My husband Carlos and I are currently expecting our first little baby girl. Her name is Issa. And this video is actually our nursery reveal slash how to build a nursery on a budget. It took us kind of a while to get her nursery completely done. We're actually still waiting on like one or two more pieces for it, but they're not like important pieces, you know, they're just like decor items. But I wanted to do this video now because she's gonna be born like any day now. My due date was actually yesterday, so this is what the bump is looking like. Honestly, I feel like it's a little bit smaller than what most people's bumps I feel like look like at 40 weeks and 1 day. We had our last sonogram yesterday too. No, my due date was actually 2 days ago. My due date was on Thursday. Today is Saturday. But whenever we had our last sonogram on Thursday, she was actually measuring 35 weeks and 5 days. And I was 40 weeks that day. And so she's a little bit small. She's currently estimated to be 6 pounds, 8 ounces. So we're trying to get labor going naturally and not have to like do induction or anything. There's something wrong with it. But I'll talk more about all that in a different video. I have a lot that I want to share, things that I'm really passionate about that subject. So I'm already out of breath, and so this is going to be a hard video to get through because I can't breathe. So like I said, this video is going to be kind of two parts. One is just going to be like fun revealing our nursery, and then the other half of it will be how to build a nursery on a budget, because we didn't really plan for this baby. I know God planned her to be here and his timing is totally perfect, but as far as like our plans, she was definitely a surprise. But thankfully we just found creative ways to make it all work for our budget, and God has always been so faithful to us to provide all that we need. But we have found some tricks and things that have made it more affordable. So I want to share those tips with you guys in this video, but I'm also going to insert clips of the room. What's really crazy about her nursery, well, crazy to me anyway, is I had this mental picture of like what I wanted her nursery to look like, and it was going to be like boho and like the stuff that you see on Pinterest, like basically what everybody else does, because I love that and it's so cute. But as I was shopping for her room, it turned into more of like this like vintagey, not really rustic, but like gold, super girly, almost like royal-ish theme, which I never thought I would ever like. But I kind of felt like as I was shopping, it all just kind of came together like that, and maybe it's just gonna fit her personality so perfectly, and I don't want to push my personality on her. So I'm glad that the room turned out honestly different than I expected, because I would have never picked this design, but it turned out so beautiful. So that was a really long intro, but let's go ahead and get into the video. So I want to start with her crib. We picked out two cribs. One was on the cheaper end, in my opinion. It was $200, like a basic Target brand. And then the second one was still a Target brand, but it was $400. And I had only picked that one out because the cheaper one was out of stock. And so I put both on my registry just to keep an eye on both of them. And then I think maybe a few days later, we were actually gifted the more expensive crib on our registry, and we did not expect it at all. It was such a surprise and such a sweet and generous and thoughtful thing for these friends of ours to do. And there have been like so many other things that were gifted to us and given to us from other families who had things that they didn't need anymore. But I realized that all of that came from like us building strong relationships with people. And so that's my first tip, is to build relationships with good people. Not because you want stuff from them, like that would be horrible, but because whenever you have a community of people that like you genuinely care for and they genuinely care for you as well, a lot of times blessing comes out of that. And we've really seen that to be so true during this whole pregnancy. Everyone's just been so thoughtful towards us. You never want to do life alone. Like, especially for us, we don't have any family that lives here. And so we didn't really have any other option but to build relationships with people at our church and to just get to know other people that we maybe not would have normally gotten to know. But it's turned out to be so cool that we've like pushed ourselves outside of our comfort zone and really like created our own family here, if that makes sense. So the second piece I wanted to talk about is our like, I don't even know what this is called. It's like a book cubby type thing. These are actually not the cheapest thing, especially if you get the ones that have the thick pieces of wood like this, but it was gonna be thrown away, and our friend asked us if we wanted it. And at first I was like, no, because it was a really ugly brown color. It had like chips all over it. And so at first I was like, no, it's fine. And then I thought about it. I was like, well, what if I paint it white? Then I could use it for like a Montessori like setup station in her nursery. And so this leads to my second tip. Be willing to put in work. This thing took us days and days to paint, but it was free, and that saved us like what, $100 for something that she's just gonna put her toys in. So if you're willing to put in work, you can get some really nice things and help out your budget. The lamp was also a gift. And then this rocking chair. This rocking chair, I have such an emotional attachment to, because I searched for hours and hours and hours and days and days and days for a rocking chair. And I honestly think this tip is gonna be like my most helpful tip in my opinion, because where I got stuck with the rocking chair was everyone makes you feel like you need to have that like swivel glider rocking chair where like it turns to the sides, it rocks, it reclines, it does all the things that are really cool and really nice, but it's $500. Like those chairs start at like $450, $500, and it's just a chair. Like it doesn't even go like in anywhere else in the house. Like it can only be used in a nursery. So for me, I was having a really hard time with that, because that's a lot of money in my opinion to spend on a rocking chair. After a few weeks, I just kept on thinking about it, and I came to the conclusion that for me, the basic thing I needed was something that's comfortable and that rocks, because I'm just using it to put the baby to sleep. I'm using it to read her books. Like I don't need to have like a 5-star chair to sleep in, because I'm not going to be sleeping in it anyway. So I found this chair for half the price of normal rocking chairs, and it's so cute. And I also love that I can put this anywhere else in my house when I'm done having kids one day. Like this chair will work anywhere that I want it to work. I'll link anything that I can link as far as like purchases that we made and stuff like that. But I found this one on this like random website. I didn't even know if it was a legit website when I found it, because I've never heard of this website before. But it worked out so well, and it's super, super comfortable. So my third tip is related to the chair. Don't feel like you have to do what everyone else does. Just because all the people that you see on YouTube and Pinterest and Instagram have these fancy chairs, that does not mean that you have to have a fancy chair like that. You can find something that is cheaper, that works better for you, that may not have like all the bells and whistles that the other ones have, but it works. And if you're on a budget, you have to be willing to not like come under the pressure of what other people say you have to have in your nursery. Because that's where I was. I felt like, man, it has to turn side to side, and it has to recline, and it has to have all these things because that's what everybody has. But the truth is that like it really doesn't have to be all of that. It can just be what I need it to be, if that makes sense. All right, so the next part of the room is the dresser. And I also am very emotionally attached to this dresser, because this is another item that I spent so much time and energy searching online for a dresser for her room. There's actually a dresser that matches the crib perfectly, but it was out of stock for like 6 months. And at that point, I was like, I have to just order one. I have to find something else to make sure that we get one. And so I was feeling the pressure of it. I was feeling really like stressed out about it. But I didn't want to buy something that I didn't feel like was good quality and that I wouldn't love. And so this is my fourth tip. Be patient and wait for sales, because this dresser, oh my gosh, this dresser is gorgeous. It's real wood. It had just been repainted, like refinished and everything. And it is such a sturdy piece. And I found it on Facebook Marketplace. Of all places to find like a really nice piece of furniture, I did not expect to find something like this on Facebook Marketplace. And I actually learned this hack from Kristen Johns. She mentioned that whenever she searches on Facebook Marketplace, she puts on the filter of local only. And that changed everything, because the reason why I stopped using Facebook Marketplace is because it always shows like a million different ads for all these different stores. And I'm like, if I wanted to shop online at a store, I would go to that website. Like it's showing all these things that are just like from IKEA and Wayfair, and I would get so frustrated and just give up. But if you select local only, it only shows local things, duh. And so that's how I found this one. This guy just like really likes to buy old dressers and repaint them. And so this dresser honestly is probably worth like at least $500. And I really don't think that the guy knew how much it was worth when he was selling it, because he sold it to us for $175. And so that was such a steal. And when we bought it, the handles were black, but I didn't really want to do a lot of black in her room. So we took the handles off and we spray painted them gold, which I felt like made such a difference and made it look so much more girly. And again, I would have never picked an old like antique type dresser for her nursery, but I feel like because I was open to doing whatever we needed to do to make it work for our budget, it turned out so beautiful. The mirror was also a testament of like being patient and waiting for sales, because I really wanted a good quality accent mirror in her room. And this mirror I actually found half off at Hobby Lobby. It was originally $120 and I found it for $60. So that was super exciting. And the frame on the wall is something I just found at a little outlet close to our house. Has a chip on it, but I don't even care. It's so cute. And then the other stuff on the dresser are just like small decorations that were gifted to us or that we already had. The play gym was a gift to us from the baby shower. I don't think it was really that expensive, but it was just something cute that I wanted to go ahead and set up in her room. And then the bookshelf. The bookshelf leads me to my last tip, which is to get creative. So this bookshelf is a tiny little IKEA bookshelf. There's nothing special about it. It's super flimsy, but I wanted to make it work because it was gifted to us and it was really cheap. It was like a $20 or $30 bookshelf. And it honestly looked kind of sad whenever we first assembled it because it's so tiny. It's like half the size that I thought it was, but I got creative. So I put this little like stuffed animal, and then I found this frame at Hobby Lobby, half off as well. So getting creative really helped make this bookshelf look a lot nicer than it really is, because it looked so sad whenever we first set it up, but we just got creative and made it look cute. I think I covered everything. I just wanted to help some moms out who maybe are on a tight budget, having your first baby, or maybe even like your second or third or fourth baby. Just some tips that helped us build a nursery, decorate a nursery on a budget without like breaking the bank to do this. So I hope that it was helpful to you. I think the next time that I make a video, my baby will have already been born. So my next video should be our birth vlog. We're planning on vlogging it. I'm gonna see how I feel when I actually go into labor and see if I feel okay with like a camera being around. Obviously I won't show anything like graphic, but I kind of want to record the whole thing just for memories, but I don't know if I'm gonna want a camera on, and if we do record it, if I'm gonna want to post it. Anyway, hopefully the next video should be either like announcing that she's here or a birth vlog or something of that nature. So I love you guys. I am praying for you, and I pray that you stay warm. Here in Texas, it is supposed to snow like crazy next Thursday. I think the high is like 20 something, which is not normal for us Texans. So I'm bracing for that. We might even be in the hospital when that happens. So praying for us if you don't mind, because we live like 45 minutes from the hospital, and if the roads are frozen, that might not be fun. Anyway, thanks for watching, thanks for coming along, and I'll see you guys in my next video.